Good morning. It is January 13th, 2017, Friday the 13th. So instead of scaring everybody, I wanted to do something different. I want to help everybody out both personally and professionally as I normally try to do. I try to create these videos to help you in both areas using my experiences, the things that I've learned, and pass along that knowledge and pay it forward to each and every one of you, and hopefully make everybody's life a little bit better one day at a time. This one, I think, is probably the most impactful video that I could ever create for any one of you, no matter what walk of life you come from, what you were taught. This principle that I'm about to teach you can change your life in so many ways, again, personally and professionally. All right, first thing that I'm going to say, this is going to help you maximize your potential personally and professionally, so I'm going to get right to it. It is the principle of urgent and important. Now, it sounds crazy. You're like, what does this mean? Let me go ahead and break it down for you real quick. We have an understanding based on a president of the United States, Mr. Eisenhower. Back in 1954, he made a speech, and he said that there are two types of problems in the world. There's important problems and urgent problems. Now, again, that sounds so conflicting. I'm just adding to the layer of how this is going to impact you, so get ready for it. I'm going to first break down important versus impactful. Important means that these are activities or a problem that has some sort of outstanding result that is directed towards you, right? That it impacts you or could lead to some sort of success for you. Whereas an urgent problem is something that demands, it's an activity that demands your attention, that generally has, and again, it's your immediate attention, that generally has something to do that benefits somebody else. But again, this is more time oriented, whereas important, there was no real time factored into that. So make sure that these two things are very clear to you. Now, what we learned in this principle is that we need to create, first and foremost, a to-do list every single day to make this principle work, right? So make sure, take a to-do list. Now, this is everything you have to do in your day. If you have to, do a school project because you're taking night classes at college, you've got to wash the dishes, cut your lawn, you have a conference call at work, you name it, it goes on your everyday to-do list. You're going to lump them all into a daily to-do list. This is the only way this impacts you, is if you start with that to-do list, because you have to stare at what you have to do every day. So you're going to prioritize every single thing on your list based on the principle of important or urgent. Now, there's 4 ways to break it down so that you don't confuse yourself and you make the most of this. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that you need to prioritize everything at the top of your list to be important and urgent. So that means that they need to be both of those things. So when you look at that task, it needs to scream to you that it is important and it's urgent. So that means it's both of them. It has a big outcome for you, but it also has a big outcome for somebody else. So it has to get done. There's time tied to it. There's too many things. So you got to prioritize that. You got to make sure that it is there. So you have to avoid that procrastination. So what you're going to see is we're going to front load this to where your most important and urgent tasks are at the top of that list. That'll be your number 1 section of that list. Number 2 section of that list is going to be important but not urgent. So again, you'll see where you have to take care of yourself before you can really take care of anybody else. The first one, you're taking care of both. Now, the second section of your list is going to be taking care of things that are for you. So again, they're important, but they're not urgent. So there is no real time, but they still got to be done second on that list. So do not delineate off of this, because it can really impact you in a negative way. Again, the positive outcome is what we want. The number 3 section of your list, all those items need to be not important, but urgent. Now, let's make this clear. The 3rd section of your list needs to be not important, but urgent. So these items, these tasks need to be not important, but they're urgent. That means that they have time attached to them, and somebody's going to have a negative result based on that. That's a friend, a family member, a client, a boss, somebody that you have to work with. So keep that in mind. There's a negative impact for somebody else. That's the 3rd section of the list. Now, the 4th section of the list, this is where it starts to get really easy. And this will be the last section. You only got to break them down into 4 sections. The 4th section is not important and not urgent. See, you see a pattern forming here. not important and not urgent. So it really doesn't have time attached to it. It's a small minor task, something like a project that's going to be 3 months out at work that really isn't going to take you much time, or maybe a school report that you know is coming at the end of the semester but you're just at the beginning of the semester. These are items you know you need to do. They're not important, they're not urgent at this point in time. So you're going to prioritize that list. Now the key to this, one key, making sure that you take everything in your life, right? Take everything in your life, put it on to-do list. Then you start analyzing the actual tasks on the list and break it down into these 4 sections. So let's recap it. The first section of your list is going to be important and urgent. The second section of your list, all the tasks on that are going to be important but not urgent. And the third section of the list is going to be not important but urgent. And the fourth section, not important and not urgent. So again, what I want you to do is start doing this today, put it into practice. Then you have to do it and you have to stick to the list. Otherwise, this doesn't work. One part is making sure you have the to-do list. Second part is breaking this down and so that you prioritize the list appropriately. The third thing is actually doing the list as it's stated here, as you prioritize the list. Now, obviously, what you want to do is constantly look at it and refine it. This is the last little keynote. As you go through this, as you practice it, you want to look at the list as you prioritize, as you get the things done at the end of the day and reflect on it. Did you prioritize it right? Did you have something that got in the way? And then realize that every task or anything else that comes along the day outside of your to-do list, you need to still put that on your to-do list and see where it falls in your section and put it in there in what section, one of those 4 sections. So hopefully this helps you. I know it's helped me tremendously in my life. Do a lot of things. I manage a lot in my life, but I do it with happiness, with a lot less stress, and it has made me more impactful to more people because of that. So hopefully this will do the same for you. Please, if you have any questions, comment below, like this, share this, send this out to everybody, because this could be the best life-changing, way to start building a more successful daily life in all avenues of your life, personal and in business. So again, comment below, ask me any questions, happy to help you. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll have another good video for you soon that will give you more layers to this and give you more impact going forward into the new year of 2017. So thank you again. Look forward to talking to you soon.